Hey everyone, how's it going? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is Three Buck Theater with, oh man, a video that I was gonna make, but at first I was trying to figure out how to make it because this morning I got up bright and early because I wanted to see the Mandalorian panel live stream from Star Wars Celebration in Chicago. I'm all the way in Washington. I couldn't make it this year, so I was like, man, give me something, give me anything, and they didn't. Favreau, he teased it to the audience that was there. They got to see a whole bunch of cool shit. Me, nah, nothing. It's like, come back in a couple minutes and you'll be able to hear people react to it, which is fine, which is good. And then it dawned on me a little bit ago that wait, this room was full of people, and Favreau had said after the fact, don't film it. Somebody must have filmed it. I probably would have not filmed it and not uploaded it, but somebody did. Somebody did. So it leaked out. And I watched it a lot. I watched the trailer they put out the first time, a couple times, and I'm going to talk about that. But first, I do want to spend a little bit of time talking about the panel itself, because as far as panels go, it was kind of underwhelming to watch from just a home-based perspective. Without being able to see the footage that they showed, it was really kind of not the most interesting of panels, with the exception of a couple things. One, I thought it was really interesting that Kathleen Kennedy was there, but it also, in essence, proved in some small way that Kathleen Kennedy has value to her position. Now, I know what you're thinking, Matt, are you defending Kathleen Kennedy? Yeah, a little bit. I will fully admit, a little bit I'm defending Kathleen Kennedy here, and here's the reason why. She's the reason, in this particular case, why Filoni and Jon Favreau were able to come together to make this show. She is the connector there. She's the person that greenlit that. So I'm going to give her credit because from what I saw, it looked amazing as hell. Is that going to do away with all of her past sins? 100% no. But is it on the road to redemption? 100% yes. And if we could, in fact, get a Kathleen Kennedy redemption arc, I'd be willing to take it because she's there for a while longer. So hopefully it'll work out pretty well. But if Kathleen Kennedy wants a true redemption arc, fire Rian Johnson. I think at this point we all can pretty much agree on that one. So the panel itself was interesting. Pedro Pascal, Gina Carano, and Carl Weathers showed up. They were a little bit uneven because really the true electrifying sensation that came off of this panel was Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni, who do have a very deep admiration and respect for one another. And I would go as far as to say a little bit of brotherly love. They had a total bromance going on there. They were not so much talking, and I say they were geeking out about how they first met when he was working on Iron Man, finishing up that movie, and Filoni was up at the ranch working on the Clone Wars, and how they got to talking to each other. That Filoni was the first person to watch Iron Man, and Favreau was the first person to watch Clone Wars, and that's how he ended up getting a voice in Clone Wars, because Favreau looked at Filoni and was like, if you ever need a voice, if you ever need a voice, Filoni's like, actually, I do, and brought him in, and that's how they got Favreau on that show, and that's how their friendship began. And their friendship evolved over the last decade or some change and helped push this project forward. So that chance encounter, that random meeting, that meet cute, if you will, at the ranch back in 2008 solidified what we're seeing before us today, which is awesome. And so, yes, in that particular mode, I do give Kathleen Kennedy a little bit of credit for that. And also, I want there to be more stories where Favreau and Filoni are talking to one another about Star Wars, especially about their love of George Lucas and how they came about this. Because ultimately, these are two men who absolutely positively love their craft, and they absolutely positively love this project, and they are in it together. And you know what? It shows. The passion through their words very much was the best part of the panel for those of us sitting in the cheap seats, i.e. home, and not being able to see the footage. But the trailer itself is what I saw first, because I didn't know about the other footage right away. And I saw the trailer and I'm like, damn, it looked pretty good. It was definitely someone recording from their phone, definitely somebody recording from a distance, and someone tried to do their best to stabilize it and make it look a lot better. But ultimately, it looked fantastic. It looks like an old school 1980s aesthetic, just with a nice HDR crisp look. There's a lot of practical effects that go into this. There's a reason why each episode is rumored to have a $10 million budget, $100 million for the full season. We're getting 10 episodes off the bat, and you look at it and you think to yourself, yeah, that's pretty cool. That is absolutely pretty cool. One of my favorite things was how the Razor Crest looked, which is Mando's ship, right? When you get to see Mando's ship flying, what they did is they built a miniature of that, and then they used a Canon 5D in order to shoot it from different lighting perspectives in order to composite it into the computer. So what you're seeing is an actual model ship, the scale model ship, or miniature version of the ship, and they use a camera to zoom right past it, and they use a camera to do that multiple times from different lightings in order to get the best possible look. And it's a practical effect that just looks cool. The Orville actually did the same thing, and there's a reason why those models and those miniatures being used in that environment does a lot to solidify the tone and stylings of the show. And fans notice that it's not all CG, that there's a little bit of realism in there, and it helps really suspend our disbelief in order to go into this world. And just based on what they showed, I'm so freaking ready to go in this world. We didn't get a lot out of Cara Dune in the trailer, which is Gina Carano. We didn't get a lot out of Giancarlo Esposito. We got a little bit, again, some scenes with them where the Mando fights Cara, and they're pretty evenly matched, which looks pretty cool. So there's that. And then again, the trailer just looked wicked as hell, and I was really surprised by it. And I don't know why they didn't release the trailer. I can understand not showing us the footage that they showed us, a whole scene, but I'm surprised that they just didn't release the trailer. But then again, some of the effects looked like they weren't wholly finished yet, and it will probably be ready by the time Comic-Con rolls around. Although with this leak getting out there and everybody talking about it, the likelihood of it actually being shown early is probably pretty high. So there's definitely that. Now, what we have here is the footage leak itself, which is the full scene. It starts off with Mando, full Mandalorian gear. He never takes it off. Total dread moment. It was great. Talking in a cantina with Grief, played by Carl Weathers. Carl is a bounty hunter, brings out these pucks like, oh, get this, get this, get this. And he's like, I'm going to take it. Yeah, I want it all. But he wants something bigger and meatier, something where you get some more money. You know, he's a morally scrupulous character who needs cash. And so Grief says, all right, well, I got one for you. And he gives him a card and sends him down the road. And that's where we get to meet Werner Herzog's character, who doesn't have a name right now that I could get my hands on, at least not according to Wikipedia. And he is the villain of the season, and it's Werner Herzog. And so he, creepy German guy sitting there with a whole bunch of Imperial stormtroopers, talking to the Mandalorian about needing to go and get something. We don't know what it is yet, but it's definitely going to be what he's in searching for the season. What's great is at one point, this guy runs in the room, this doctor. Mando stands up, pulls out his blaster, aims his other gun, and there's the stormtroopers all point their blasters at him. Herzog's like, go ahead and lower your weapons. He says them first. The stormtrooper says, there's 4 of us and there's 1 of you. And Mando just looks at him and says, I like those odds. And I'm like, yes. Yeah. Oh, that looked great. It looked fantastic, just that little scene. And of course, he gets the chit, he gets the information, not much to go on, and he heads off in order to find whatever it is he is looking for. But they did make a little interesting line there. They made a very interesting line about how they wanted to very much talk, or there's something about the Mandalorians' history and like why there aren't many Mandalorians around, and there was a little bit there that was referenced by Herzog's character. So we're gonna have to wait and see on that one. But that's where the trailer ends, or that's when the footage ends, and that's when it goes into the full-on trailer, which we already saw. So I want to talk about Mando, because he's not going to go by the Mandalorian. He's straight up now known as Mando, and that is great. Pedro Pascal, like Oberyn Martell, is a fantastic character. He's great on Narcos. He was great in Kingsman, the Golden Circle. He's a fantastic actor. Him coming in to play this bounty hunter is, I think, really going to do a lot to bring a lot of legitimacy to the show. I don't think it really had that problem to begin with, but to a lot of people, they want something they can hold on to here. And he's such a good actor, and he seems like he's having so much fun on the role. Just based on what we've seen, he's going to be bringing it hardcore, and he's going up against some heavyweights. I'm sorry, Carl Weathers is a heavyweight, Werner Herzog's a heavyweight, and he can trade banter with them, which I think is going to work out. Plus that line about like, I like those odds, sold me on the character right there. Plus he looks wicked in that armor, and he never took it off, which I thought was another thing that was fantastic, that it's about the character, not about the actor behind the character, the actor in the suit. It's very much about the character, and I think that's going to go a long way to sell this series to fans. I really, really, really do. Cara Dune, played by Gina Carano. From what we saw, she's going to be kicking a lot of ass. She's going to be kicking a lot of ass, and a lot of people are really going to like what she brings to the table. I love Gina Carano and basically everything I see her in, so I already know I'm going to like the character here. No word if she's going to be a love interest or just an ally. I think she's going to start off as an ally, maybe not become a love interest. I don't want it really bogged down by love interests, but still at the same point in time, Star Wars is a space opera, which does rely a lot on love. A lot of it revolves around love, so it would make sense to make this, make that something later on. And hey, again, I really like her, so I'm down for whatever. Grief, Carl Weathers looked fantastic. I love me some Carl Weathers, and he seems to be just having a lot of fun with the role. But we didn't get to see a lot out of him. But if Carl Weathers brings his attitude to the table, I think we're going to get a lot of really good scenes, a lot of really good dialogue, because Favreau was quite good at writing dialogue, and he wrote most of these episodes. So I think we're going to get a lot out of that, and I'm looking forward to it. Giancarlo Esposito, Gus from Breaking Bad. Fun little side story. I have a cat named Gus that we named when we thought it was a boy. It's a girl. We named her Gus after Giancarlo Esposito. That's how much I love his character in Breaking Bad. My female cat is named Gus, and I've had her for 7 years. So, I love that cat, and I love Giancarlo Esposito. And the thing is, Giancarlo, we don't know much about him, just that he's going to be working with the Empire, and he is going to very much be a badass. I really hope they play in that they allow him to go to Breaking Bad's darkness levels. I really want him to bring that and not bring it in the way that he did with Revolution, which was a show on NBC in the Amberverse, which is where he played the villain in that particular role. And he wasn't bad in it, but he wasn't Gus. He wasn't Gus Fring, and people want Gus Fring. And when you're going to bring in someone like Werner Herzog as the bad guy, you have to have an underboss, Giancarlo Esposito, that can go full Fring. Let him go full Fring. People are going to be freaking happy with that one here. Again, Werner Herzog is a delight to watch every single time. He's an excellent bad guy. He has that amazing voice, and he's going to bring an excellent performance for the season. I really hope we grow to hate him. I really hope we get to see this dark, sadistic side that makes us just loathe for him, loathe his character, and be happy when he gets taken out back and gets capped. Simply because I think giving us that is going to go a long way to setting up some good villains. Because Star Wars, to be fair, Star Wars has not had as good of a villain as Darth Vader in all of its run, right? Palpatine was good in the prequels. I liked him but we already knew about Darth Sidious. We already knew how he died. Kylo Ren is decent, and he's a good character, and I like Kylo Ren quite a bit. But again, give us a good villain that we can just dive into, like Gus Fring. So again, Breaking Bad, always good, always good. IG-88, we knew was going to be in it. We knew he was going to be voiced by Taika Waititi. We get to see that brief shot of IG-88 straight gunning fools down. And oh my God, that looked amazing. That little shot of IG-88 just tearing shit up. I cannot wait for that. I'm so excited to see that when it finally hits. And then my mind was blown because I'm watching this trailer, and here comes this bald guy, and I look and I'm like, is that Bill Burr? Is that Bill Burr? And then you see him walking dual blasters and like opening fire on some people. And I'm like, oh shit, son. Oh snap. That's Bill Burr. What is Bill Burr doing here? What is Bill Burr doing here? How is Disney letting Bill Burr anywhere near any of their properties? you have to understand, F is for Family is like one of my all-time favorite shows. It's like one of my all-time favorite shows. So the fact that Bill Burr's in this, I had no idea in the trailer, and like no one's talking about it. Like no one's talking about Bill Burr being in this show. What the hell? What the hell? Just again, whatever he's in, because what we're seeing here is with Giancarlo Esposito and Bill Burr, both Breaking Bad alums. Like, please tell me Vince Gilligan is somewhere in the orbit of the show. You know what I mean? Give me something with that. Or like, how dark are they going to take this? Because the darker the better with Bill Burr. His humor, I hope they let him just kind of be himself. It's going to be hard without the swearing. And if he goes anywhere near saying, I'm going to build a wall and put you fucking through it, I'm going to be cheering till the end of time. I'll be buying his merch, wearing it. Again, I'm a huge Bill Burr fan. And my final thoughts on this trailer, on leak and everything else, it looks good. I'm not making this up. It looks good. This is the one thing that we're getting Star Wars related in 2019 that I don't think anyone can really bitch about. You know, episode 9 has got its haters, right? Episode 9 has got its haters. Episode 9 has got people out there that are going to criticize it 100%. That is very true. There's reason to criticize it. Episode 8 was bad, or just lackluster in narrative. But this one is going to be a TV series. It gives us a chance to breathe, to get to know the characters, and not rushing at breakneck speeds in order to tell a full story in 2.5 hours. They get a full 10-hour experience. It's going to be launching on November 12th with Disney Plus. This show is going to break the internet in so many ways. So many fans are going to tune in once they start releasing the information. And I don't know why they didn't just release a trailer. They should have released a trailer first, and a lot of people out there would definitely jump in on it. Quite frankly, it is dope as hell. I really liked it. It's good TV, and I wish I was in that room, but I don't mind watching the leaked stuff. This is what happens, Disney, when you hype it up and then you don't show it. I'm just saying, you brought this on yourself. But we have to wait and see now if they drop the full trailer in full HD resolution. But man, it looks pretty dope. It looks pretty great. I didn't want to show you guys any footage from this. I'm sorry. That has everything to do with the fact that I just don't want my channel getting struck down. So this is what it is. But when it comes out, I will do a shot-by-shot breakdown. I will do a reaction when it comes out in full force. But if you are looking for this information, you can find it on like Star Wars Leaks. You can find it yourself out there. And if you've seen it, talk about it. What are your thoughts? What are your opinions? I want to hear them. Let me know down in the comments below. I will talk to you guys later. Have yourself a fantastic day. Please thumbs up the video, subscribe to $3 Theater, and check back often for more content from me. Have a great one, guys, and peace out.